Hello and welcome. I am excited to be here today. It is a Tuesday morning, and this is my first. I hope you can see me okay. Great. This is my first live in a long time, but the names of these lives will be called Empowerment Tea. And this episode will be talking about stop settling. But first, I just got to ask the question to preface it. Are you ready to start designing the life you were meant to live? This is what these weekly lives will be about. They may be pre-recorded or they may be live because I still have a job, right? But today we're going to do it live, and I'm super excited to be able to share this with you. I can see notes in the chat, I think, so I would love to hear who's here and who's chiming in. And if you too are ready, yes, to design the life you were meant to live. And a personal story for me is that I did write the book, Stop Settling. You were designed for greatness. And I wrote it at a time in my life where I realized, okay, that I had been allowing, okay, I'm going to start there. I was allowing external voices, right? I don't know if you've been there, but I've allowed external voices to write the narrative of my life. It was then that I realized that I had the drive of others, okay, in my work environment began to slow down my own drive to make an impact and to do the things that I knew I was meant to do. And I became complacent. Have you ever been there? Have you ever become complacent due to the environment that you're in? It just feels like, why bother? Well, that is what prompted me to write Stop Settling. You were designed for greatness. And I've learned that my mental resilience is what has brought me through, okay, and has taken me to where I am now, to a career that I truly, truly enjoy and love. I enjoy the people that I work with. I enjoy what it has to offer. And I love the idea that it doesn't have to stop there. Okay. I love the idea that I can not only design it in my career, but I can design it outside of my career. And so it was very important to me that I recognized that by leveraging my inner voice, I could capitalize on my talent, yes, and design my greatest life. However, as life is, I've had to develop a formula, okay, to never, and I mean never, slip back into complacency. And I can tell you, even this past weekend, okay, there's some things that have happened in my life where it just feels like, why bother? But I tell myself that I didn't come up with this formula to not continue to design my greatest life. And that formula is what I call my empowerment tea. Okay, this is my tea. I drink it every day. And in this tea, it has allowed me to not slip back into complacency. And so we're going to have some tea today, and we're going to talk about, what I really want to do on these series is introduce how drinking my empowerment tea has transformed my life. And my podcast mission is to empower other listeners to co-create with confidence, leverage your inner voice, and design your greatest life, all while sipping on some empowerment tea. So today's episode is an introduction to the Stop Settling movement. Did you know that 80% of people are dissatisfied with their life? That is a huge number for me. And it made me realize that I too am not alone when I was dissatisfied in that work environment. And there are so many others that also are dissatisfied. And this actually came from a source called the World Happiness Report. Okay, people are tracking how happy we are, and various other life satisfaction surveys. But the focus is identifying that this is a widespread dissatisfaction and understanding that many people feel powerless to create the change, right? And I want to take this moment or this minute, because it's only going to be a 15-minute like live, okay? That's all I could afford. And I think, I want to make sure to give you back your lunchtime if you're doing this over lunch, as I am. Why? What is the challenge with identifying how we can have a satisfying life? overcoming the inertia that keeps people stuck in unsatisfying lives. What do you think the reasons are that people are unsatisfied? I can tell you, for me, it was definitely my environment. Okay. It was definitely the relationships that I would have had, that I may have had. And I think another thing is finances. And then just the whole aspect of self care. Me drinking this empowerment tea is one of my mindful tools that I use in order to be in tune with where my mind is at, and if I am in alignment with what he has for me. So I'll just share with you what the T stands for. TEA. The T in the T stands for trust. And I'm trusting that I have a purpose here at work, at home, and whoever I am around. There is a purpose here for me to fulfill. And it is, I believe, to spread love, but also to uplift God's people, as well as whatever I touch my hands on. Is, turn it into gold, or to make an improvement on where I am in my life. And so for me, the tea, when I drink it and I feel a little like uneasy, is just remembering that I have a voice and I have a purpose, and why I'm here matters. And I have to just trust that whoever created me, that my creator, right, is entrusting me to recognize that I'm here for a reason. I think there are times in our lives where we go, why bother? Why am I here? Why me? Why me? And I was watching a TEDx just the other day. The question is not why, but what will we do with why we're here? You understand what I'm saying? Because it's inevitable. That's why I have my tea. You are going to have moments where you're up and when you're down, but you need to be remembering that you still have and can control your narrative on how your life is going to be designed. And so the E stands for enough. And when I say enough, it's just recognizing that wherever you are, it's enough for you to be able to move past. Okay. Like when we say enough is enough, it's enough to know that where you are is where you need to be, but it doesn't mean that's where you stop, which is why I like the A is for alignment. How can I get in alignment with what I am trusting I am to be? Finding that peace, finding that harmony between where I'm at right now doesn't feel right or doesn't seem right, but I know that it's enough to help propel me to get to where I need to be, to get to the place that I know was designed for me. So if that resonates with you, I hope you have you're drinking some of this tea with me to understand that you can trust that you are here for a purpose, and that wherever you are, it is enough. There's no need to go backwards. We need to be focusing on how we can get in alignment with the life we desire. So that's my T. And then the tool for today, when we talk about this 80% being dissatisfied with their lives, is just to start small, because we're trying to overcome this idea that people will just stay stuck, right? When you feel like you are unhappy or unsatisfied, you could stay in that moment for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a day, a week. But we have to figure out how to get past that feeling, which is why I drink the tea to remind myself that it is just for a moment. And if I can detach myself from that moment and think about what it is I would like to do, start small. And for me, like I tell people most of the times, my biggest tool is just taking a deep breath, because the T in the T is trusting that the breath that I breathe did not come from me. And so when I can trust that there's a higher power, or there's someone else out there that has given me this life to even wake up this morning, okay? When I take that breath and realize that I am here for a reason, and that is not to be taken for granted, and I can just breathe into the fact, right, that there's so much more out there for us to accomplish and for us to receive as our blessings, to become in alignment or get in line with what it is that we know we are here to do, which is, I believe, like I said, to be a blessing onto others. So I hope this is just a wake up call for some to be able to take just a small step, as simple as just taking a breath, okay? And breathing into the fact that you were given that breath because you can leverage your voice, you can leverage your talent, you can leverage your skills, and you can leverage your moment, right? When we think about a lever, right? I'm an engineer, but like it's to propel you. We're going to leverage it to move forward. So that's what I want these lives to be about. It's just to take a moment to think about one thing we can do today to refocus how we can design our life so that we truly are satisfied in maybe just one area of our life, or we're working towards other areas in our lives to be satisfied with. So that's it. Like I said, I want you to take a step forward, change how you explore your dissatisfied feelings and thought process. As I said, as an engineer, as an author, and a speaker, and a small business owner, I believe I'm here to help bridge the gap for those individuals between mental resilience and healthcare. And just as we advocate for not settling for our personal lives, we must also not settle for our healthcare or inadequate healthcare. Okay. And so I provide solutions in order to help empower you and help you not only get adequate healthcare, but to begin that conversation, just as we talked about here, on how you can stay mentally resilient in designing your greatest life. That's why I'm proud to offer my premier essential services that is disrupting the healthcare industry. This service is not just for individuals, is not only for individuals, but it's for those that are small business owners and organizations to help retain their best talent and offer comprehensive access to mental health relief. And if you are ready to stop settling for less in your health care and in your business, I encourage you to explore how this service can support you and support your team in co-creating a healthier, more empowered future and a more empowered environment. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to take a minute to see if you've dropped any questions in the chat, any comments in the chat. If you have sipped on some tea with me and recognize that you do and can leverage your voice so that you can design your greatest life and not live a life that others are trying to narrate for you. So again, I just want to thank you for joining me. If you're joining me live or you're joining me on a replay, please drop in the chat where you're hailing from. And yeah, tell me if you get it. Just drop T in the chat. And I hope to see you at my next live, which will be Tuesdays, posted on LinkedIn and YouTube for now. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and hearing more from you as we design our greatest life. Take care.